What's up, weirdos? What's going on, guys? What's going on out there? A little bit of a red day. Not too red, but it's kind of a mixed bag. Kind of a mixed bag. Not too good, not too bad. I see Veracity recovered. Very nice, very nice. All right, guys, let's get into the chat a little bit. Then we'll get into some charts. We'll get into some news. Let's talk about it, guys. We got a busy day today. Holy smokes. But first, shout out to the channel sponsor, Descent Biometric Wallet, guys. Get yourselves the biometric or the card wallet today, guys. Not your keys, not your coins. Use our link down below. I think it's like 30% off or something like that using our link. So check out our link, guys, down. It's in the chat. It's in the description as well. So shout out to them for that. Bitcoin, what are we doing? What are you doing? Down at the bottom of the golden pocket we have here. So far, 102 holding support. Like I told you guys the last couple of days, we could come down to about $101,000. Retest that level. But what matters is where we close this candle. I wouldn't be surprised to see this candle come all the way back up later today inside the bull pennant. But if not, no big deal. No big deal, right? So things are looking good. Not a surprise to see a bit of red after all of this, guys. I mean, it's not a surprise to see a little bit of red. My price target here, again, before the end of the month is between 112 and 114K, right up there. So that's what we're looking at for Bitcoin. So, all right, let's get into the chat, see what's going on out there. John, Showtime, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you, William, my guy, my dude. There she is, Gamma Goddess, third one in the chat today. Holy smokes. Hope everyone is enjoying a blessed Monday. Let's get this, my guys. I love Mondays. You know me. You know I love Mondays, man. Braveheart, Monday magic is upon us. Could we get the Mr. T pump? It will be nice to see a trade deal. Calm and excited. Yeah, we got updates on that. It's looking good, guys. It's looking good. Lions Den, what's up, buddy? Pumped for the pump. All hands on deck. Let's go. Kevin, what's up, man? Good afternoon. Lakeland, Florida in the house. Joy, what's going on? Happy Monday, Rob and Patreon family. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. Hit the likes. Rob's channel is the best content. Hopefully, I agree with you. Guys, make sure that you hit the like and subscribe to the channel. Absolutely. It helps the channel grow. It doesn't cost you a single solitary dime, nickel, penny, or anything in between, if there is anything in between. So go ahead and check that out, guys. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Strawberry Dragon, what's going on? Bulbasaur in the house. J Money, first Pokemon of the day. Got to catch them all, baby. Ty, what's going on? 5,000 Zebec. Nice. There you go, man. There you go. Jake the Snake. Roberto. I'm looking forward to the Zebec inverse correlation coming. Yes, no kidding. Let's go, man. Let's go. I know you have your target in the Patreon. I'm coming out with new. I'm going to be releasing a new price target list very, very soon, bro. So hang on for that. Shane, what's up, man? Good to see you. Paul, good to see you again, buddy. I have a one-on-one with you today. Nice. I'll see you then, man. Beebs, my dude, my brother. What's up, man? Blair's in the house. Shane's in the house again. Mario, yeah, buddy. Mario, money. Cryptis, what's up, man? Make sure you hit the like, and if you're not part of the Patreon, you're not sure what you're waiting on. Exactly, guys. We dropped three small cap gems over on the Patreon this week, guys, and I'm doing a minimum of 2 this week. So guys, get over there. You don't want to miss out on these projects. While the market is red, is the perfect time to be accumulating. Another local, happy Monday, Rob. Immense thank you for guiding us, for showing us how to buy off panic sellers months ago. Now our bags are bigger than ever, ready for takeoff. Let's go, weirdos. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. AK808, morning, Rob and Crypto Fam. How's your bags are packed? I hope your bags are packed and ready for liftoff. You know it. You know it. I already did some buying this morning. I put my buy alerts over on the Patreon, but I'm going to be doing a little bit more because I'm feeling crazy. One of the gems that we dropped last week is down nicely, so I think I'm going to pick some more up. Parallel Life, happy Monday, Stargazer in the house, hello, hello. Is it okay to hold my profits on USDC or stablecoin on my Decent wallet and not deposit it directly into it? Yeah, that's okay. You should be fine. I mean, I usually don't advise people hold anything for the most part, except for Bitcoin and self-custody. I don't recommend people hold anything through a bear market because you don't know which projects are going to go bankrupt and which ones are not. But I don't see a scenario where Circle goes bankrupt though. So I think you should be okay. Hope you're having a great day. Mind TA on Swiftcoin, please. Swiftcoin. Didn't I just do Swiftcoin for you the other day? Yeah, we're still in an accumulation channel here on Swiftcoin. Still accumulating. I mean, you could move this up. You've kind of got it's kind of too far away to be a double top, but I mean, you are still in this ascending channel. Well, I guess it's not even ascending. This is more of just an accumulation zone, if you ask me. Just broke out into an accumulation zone here, and the longer we consolidate here, the more violent the move to the upside is going to be. So, yeah. But as long as Bitcoin's going sideways here, there's an opportunity for altcoins to make a run. So you have to remember that, right? Altcoins can continue to melt up as Bitcoin goes sideways, as altcoins try to catch up to its price action. So, what do we got here? Oh my goodness, guys, check it out. Whoever got this gifted membership, make sure you are giving your undying appreciation to D's Nuts, okay? Absolutely. Same thing with Matt gifts another membership over on Crypto Blueprint, guys. Thank you so much, man. We now have 2 members over on Crypto Blueprint. Thanks to you, man. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. We're trying to grow out the Crypto Blueprint channel as well. So absolutely, guys, make sure, you know what, I'm going to put it on the screen real quick for you. Make sure you guys are subscribing over on the our other channel, Crypto Blueprint. We're trying to grow it. We do exclusive content over there, guys. We do a live stream there, but this is it on your screen right now. Get over there, shoot us a sub, guys, for sure, and help me grow the channel out. Where were we? Hey, Rob, I really like the Decent wallet. Shame I didn't see the deal for 2. Well, I mean, yeah, it's a twofer, eh? They got that good deal, absolutely. Andy, what's up, man? Dry powder ready to deploy for your 2 new gems this week. There you go. Nice. I am Jasmine. We're all Jasmine. They hate us because they ain't us. Absolutely easy. Yo. What's good, fam? Chilling like a villain today. Amazing coins you have been missing, man. We put out a search party for you. Hey, Robin, Crypto Weirdos, I'm here. Just been busy at work the last 3 days. We love you, man. We love you. Ken and Lisa, I'm looking forward to our one-on-one this afternoon. I have a chiropractic appointment at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. Is it possible to get in early? Thanks in advance. I can try to do yours as soon as we finish this. As soon as we finish this live stream. David, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Your boy, listening while I'm at work. My guy, my dude, always counting on you, brother. Thank you so much. Oh, and also, guys, the people over on Crypto Blueprint also need to show great appreciation to D's Nuts for another gifted membership, right? Getting all kinds of appreciation for D's Nuts today. Absolutely hilarious. Where are we here? Alfredo, what's up, man? Hey, Rob and family, what's going on, buddy? Jared, happy Monday, off to work. LFG, Zebec, absolutely. Jesse James, what's up, man? Hope you had a good weekend. Let's get this market pumping. Pumping in the gym and watching these pumps, and of course, watching my favorite channel live. My guy, my dude, my brother. Oh, House finally back to even on Jasmine. Nice. And still down XCN. I mean, patience is a virtue, man. I love your patience, brother. I love it. Bruno, what's up, buddy? Davin, XRP, ADA, XLM, ETH popping off. Nice. Are you expecting an explosive summer? I kind of am at this point. Yes, I kind of am. I'm also kind of playing with the idea of a pullback sometime around the beginning of August through maybe August and September, and then blow off top October, November, maybe into December. Beautiful day in Chicago. That said, bought some more Zebec. Nice. Onyx, second Pokemon of the day. Christopher, there we go, man. Hey, Rob, what's going on? Happy Monday. Hope you're doing well today. I'm doing good, man. I'm feeling good. I'm doing good. I believe Caspa got a bullish weekly close last week. Yes, Caspa was pumping pretty hard yesterday, huh? Yeah, my Caspa pumped up nicely yesterday. Hoover, no problem, man. Zebec, any chance you can take a look at Fetch AI? All right, what do we have? What do we have? What do you say? What do you know? Well, I mean, you're kind of testing a significant level right now. Is this going to hold as support? As you can see back here, it was resistance, significant level of resistance back here for quite a while, right? So you're retesting it. You broke through. You're retesting it. You rejected off it here even too. But you're testing it as support right now, that 82-cent level. Is it going to hold, or 81-cent, whatever, right? Is it going to hold is the question. If it holds, I mean, this is a retest of resistance. And if it holds through today, you could see a move to the upside, confirming the breakout out of resistance. But if you fail the retest and collapse back down below, you could see a pullback back down to, I mean, not really many significant levels here. You had a pretty violent move. Right here, around 64 cents, you could see a pullback down there. You've had engagement with it right here, right here, right here, right here. So that's what I'll be looking for on Fetch AI. Why would Zebec drop today when it's been holding 2018 for a few days? No, I don't know. Nothing. There's nothing really bad happening with Zebec. So, I mean, half the market is kind of down right now. So, thank you. No problem. No problem. Spencer, maybe market waiting for the SEC Crypto Task Force Roundtable happening. Yeah, it's happening right now, I believe. We're going to cover that a little bit as well. Sometimes I wonder if D's nuts is Rob secretly disguised. No, believe me, it's not. You'd be surprised. Hypothetically speaking, if you had 1 million USD and you wanted to buy Myriad, knowing what you know, what percentage would you put into it? No DCA, just one shot. 100 Rand, maybe 100 Rand. Liz, afternoon, Lizzie. What's going on? Favorite crypto friends? Absolutely. Get over to the Patreon. It's definitely a family over there. God bless you, Al, and have a great day. Yes, absolutely, guys. If you're looking for a phenomenal community to be a part of, guys, you are missing out if you're not on the Patreon. It is a huge community. It's phenomenal. Everybody's, I mean, we got a joking around chat. If you've got a thick skin, we've got the crypto chat. I mean, everyone's always helping each other. It's a fantastic time. Glad you're all good. When do you think alt season will start? Not for a couple of months, man. Not for a couple of months. Cool. Let's go. D's nuts. There you go, man. Also, this cycle and long-term next cycle, what do you think XRP? I don't do price predictions for 4 years from now because that's crazy and essentially impossible. But I think that XRP this bull run is probably going to be somewhere around between $5 to $6. So you got about a 2.5x left in XRP, in my opinion. Growth Typhoon, everything weird OG. There you go. Evening. Gabe, what's up, buddy? How's the Zebec chart looking? Oh. Zebec chart is looking super fantastic. kind of forming a you're forming a significant bull flag here on Zebec. So you're definitely forming a bull flag. This is going to be one hell of a breakout to the upside. My target's up here, as you guys know, 203 to 2031 for Zebec. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be a beaut. Gary, what's up, man? Can you look at Doodles? I don't even know what that is, man. Doodle is our community member. Oh, snap. Thanks for the gift membership. There you go. Dennis, what's up, man? Was there some bad news or why? No bad news. It's just Bitcoin's been pumping like crazy, guys. The market's been pumping like crazy, right? So a little bit of a correction is perfectly healthy. We're still going to end this week, in my opinion, super green. So market dumps, come on. Rebellious Zebec, time to pump. Absolutely. No problem, brother. No problem. What's up, brother? What do you think Swift will peak at by summer or during the fall? I think Swift coin's going to surprise people, man. Honestly, I think it's going to surprise people. I can see 20, 25, 30, 40 cents on Swift. Tokenomics are just so good. Leafs and Panthers all tied up. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Refs were absolutely atrocious last night. I'm usually not one to complain about reffing, but holy shit, man. 4 penalties in like as many, like literally the Leafs spent the first period, half of it on the penalty kill. And it's not that they were calling things on the Leafs, it's that they were not calling anything on Florida, right? Until Florida, you give a team 4 power plays inside of 10 minutes, they have all the momentum in the game. All the momentum is in their favor. And it took 4 power plays for them to finally get one past Wall, right? So, I mean, kind of questionable, man. You saw a kicked in goal on the Jets game, and then you saw what happened in the Leafs game. You know, up here in Canada, there's a lot of speculation that Bettman does not want a Canadian team to win the cup, and you can see why, right? I see you, your boy. Hope everyone's having a great day. Kachuk said he's ready to brawl after the end of game hit. Yeah. I mean, I think he could be sorry that he said that. The Leafs, people don't. I don't think people. Not a lot of people know this, but the Leafs are actually a bigger team than Florida physically. They're actually bigger, right? So, but what I would do is I would allow Florida to come out and take penalties if the refs will actually call them on anything in the next game. Z to the U. Hey, Rob, have you ever looked into LAI? Yes, I have. I've looked at it 3 times in the last week, actually. I'm not on vacation until next weekend, brother. Next weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'll be gone. Doodle is waiting for that banana zone. Hell yeah, he is. What's your pick of the bunch for this run? I can't just pick one coin, man. I can't do it. People have these weird ways of asking me to tell them which coin to buy. It's like, well, if you had to pick between these 5, which one would you buy? You're basically asking me to tell you which coin to buy, right? Is your target still on JAD 3 cents? Yes. On the melt up, yes. Chris, what's up, buddy? Buenos dias, amigo. Hoping XCN moves to the upside. It looks like it's fueling to make its next move. Absolutely. Florida Panthers have been listening to Carney. Oh, yeah. Hey, Rob, what's your price prediction for Swift again? It was it 50? I just answered that one a couple seconds ago. Like I could see that going as high as 20, 30, even 40 cents. The tokenomics on Swift, guys, you have to understand. The market cap's still so small, and 10 billion max supply with 100% of supply in circulation, decentralized finance narrative, made in USA tag. Project's going to do phenomenal, in my opinion. Why do you think XRP only goes to 2x from its previous all-time high when it completely missed the last cycle? That's a narrative that XRP content creators, here's the thing. I'm a big XRP fan. I held XRP for 7 years, okay? So in no way would you ever catch me fighting XRP. But a lot of XRP people don't look at things rationally or realistically, right? And when I say that, what I mean is that when XRP came out, like let's look back at 2017. XRP passed Ethereum 3 or 4 times, right? And XRP had all the potential in the world, right? Now, one key factor in that is that XRP basically had a monopoly on the decentralized finance narrative at that point in time, right? For the most part. Then they got dragged. They got cheated. 100% they got cheated by Bill Hinman. They got screwed over, right? Ethereum got the blah, 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 blah. I made a video talking about the other day. We all know that. You fast forward to today, XRP has tons of competition in the decentralized finance narrative now. They no longer have the access to be the only project getting all of that money flowing through decentralized finance through the XRP ledger. You now have so many phenomenal projects. Obviously XLM, right? You've got Zebec, you've got Onyx Coin, you've got Swift Coin, you've got Moonwell. You've got so many decentralized finance projects now that companies can go with, banks can go with. Now, XRP is still going to get a good share of that money in the decentralized finance space. But now that pie is being divided by many, many other solid decentralized finance projects, right? They're all going to take a piece of that pie now. So, XRP, like I said, and to say that XRP going to go to $5 or $6 that's not bearish. At the bottom, everyone looks at recency. Everyone has recency bias. So when I say $5 or $6, they're like, well, it's like, what is XRP right now? It is, $2.50 almost, right? So people say, well, that's bearish. Well, no, not when you look at what XRP was at the bottom of this bear market. It was like 20 cents, right? So to go from 20 cents to almost $6, that's a big return on investment. The problem is XRP community people have been so numbed to ROI because of all of these content creators throwing these ridiculous numbers out there that are not doable. So people hear, $10, $1,000, $10,000. When they hear $6, they're like, oh, that's garbage, right? When really it's not garbage. That's a phenomenal. It's the same thing with Bitcoin. I tell people the top for Bitcoin in this cycle for me is going to be about $150,000 to $180,000. And people keep telling me, you're too bearish. That's not bearish. That's just recent. They're saying that, yeah, okay, I'll give you this. When you go from $104,000 to $150,000, it doesn't sound that bullish, right? For Bitcoin. But when you look at the bottom of this bear market, Bitcoin was at $15,000, 15, right? To go from $15,000 to $150,000, that's super mega ultra bullish return on investment. But people aren't looking at it like that. They're looking at recency bias, right? So yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm just not a moon boy. I just don't give out these moon boy crazy targets. I'm here to try to help people make money and not be bag holders at the end of the day, I suppose. To rant. Sorry about the rant, but so I love XRP, for the record, right? And I'm likely going to buy a whole bunch more XRP in the bottom of the next bear market. Roberto, why are you so arrogantly correct? Marvelous Monday, DCA, absolutely. Rob, do you like repeating yourself every day with questions? I love it. It makes me feel good. It's fantastic, right? Try to do my best Nacho Libre impression. It's fantastic. I love it. My life is good. You think Jasmine price of 5 cents? Do I think on this next month is realistic? Yeah, I think 5 cents is definitely realistic. 5 cents and then 8 to 10 cents, and then continuing up from there. XRP's a rock. Yeah. XRP passed Bitcoin passed Ethereum at one point, not Bitcoin. ETH is going to do what XRP should have with banks and institutions. Hey, broski, how high can Nadix network go this bull run? What's your price prediction? Where could it go? It could go 3, 4, 5 cents. I mean, it could if it gets adoption. L2 protocols for Ethereum being implemented by banks for domestic commercial transactions. Rob just giving us the facts. Yes, bring in the fire, bring in the heat, bring in the, just bring in the honest opinion, man. Always got to be honest, right? All right, so let's get into some of this news, guys. We haven't even touched on the news yet. Let's get into it. So SEC hosts tokenization roundtable with industry leaders. What do we got? On May 12th, the U.S. SEC Commission hosted the Tokenization Roundtable featuring prominent industry leaders in Washington to discuss potential regulatory frameworks. The event underscores the growing interest in integrating traditional finance with blockchain technology, potentially reshaping investment landscapes and driving significant changes across capital markets. The roundtable, spearheaded by the SEC Task Force, focused on balancing innovation with investor protection. Major financial institutions such as BlackRock, Fidelity, and NASDAQ participated, signaling an importance of tokenization in modern finance. Led by Commissioner Hester Peirce, known as the Crypto Mom, the discussion emphasized the need for regulatory reform and industry collaboration. Attendees expressed optimism about clearer crypto guidance, enhancing market stability, and the involvement of large asset managers like BlackRock suggests substantial institutional engagement, indicating potential shifts in investments towards digital assets and tokenized securities. The event signals potential financial and regulatory changes. Previous cases show asset managers may increase crypto allocations, boosting sector growth. Ethereum's role as a key platform for tokenization might grow, as supported by historical trends and market data. Earlier, SEC hosted crypto roundtables focused on regulatory clarity in blockchain adoption with limited immediate policy shifts. Still, these events historically spurred engagement and investment activities within governance tokens and DeFi protocols. Experts suggest potential regulatory shifts bolstered by institutional interest may accelerate tokenization projects. Historical data indicates that successful policies could facilitate further integration, reinforcing blockchain's role in modernization of financial systems. You love to see it. Right, what else do we have? Kind of keep up on the chat a little bit. Carlos, I'm thinking about swapping my XRP for Zebec. It would get me, there you go. XRP's price briefly reached number 1 in, oh, nice. I didn't know that. I know it passed Ethereum, but I was unaware that it passed passed BTC. Afternoon, everyone. Rob's got the fries that'll cross your eyes. What's going on? Danny, what's up, buddy? XCN. I mean, it's a buying opportunity, man, right? It's a buying opportunity. 100%. 100%, man. What is XCN doing right now? Anyway, it's not even down anywhere near as much as some stuff. I wouldn't stress about it, man. Honestly, I wouldn't stress about it. All right, what do we got? Expect fewer Fed rate cuts this year at a later date.
Continue this conversation. I'm curious what Mohamed Al-Arian thinks of all this. He's now at the table, Chief Economic Advisor at Allianz, President of Queen's College at Cambridge University. The markets are liking what they're hearing right now. It's a 90-day reprieve. The next 90 days super volatile, or do you think it's a nice straight line?
It's not a straight line, and you're going to be really frustrated when you hear the opinion of economists like me, because you're going to be reminded of President Truman asking for a one-handed economist, because there's so many issues in play. What we know for sure is the first thing you've heard is whatever your probability of Fed cuts was, now it's fewer cuts and later. And what we know for sure is that economic activity over the next 90 days will be higher than it would have been otherwise, if only because people want to exploit a short-term window. Beyond that, you have all sorts of questions that have to be resolved. You have to figure out not just the economics, but the politics and national security implications of all this.
Explain this, though, and I think this was a question Joe was trying to ask Scott Besson about. That the idea that we were supposed to have, it was that we were going to see in the economic numbers a sense that there had been a paralysis that had changed capital investment, that had changed the way the consumer was behaving. There are still economists out there who say, we're going to see it in the numbers. We're going to see it. We just haven't. They're surprised they haven't. They say, oh, no, it's not this month. You got to look in June. You got to look in July. Will we see that?
The answer is, I don't know, but I suspect so. The soft data has collapsed. The hard data has been incredibly robust. And that's why economists who look at the soft data extrapolate from that. The economists that look at the hard data extrapolate from that. My own gut feeling is we will get some slowing in the economy. We will get some higher inflation. But most CEOs will remain in the wait and see. Let's see what happens after 90 days.
What does that do to employment, though? Because that's something else that we think is what Jay Powell would otherwise be watching.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get any spike in unemployment. I think CEOs are just waiting. They don't want to take any major decisions that has longer-term consequences. If you lay someone off and it's wrong, you've got to find someone else, retrain them. So any decisions that have longer-term implications, people will wait for now.
Mohammed, you were really dovish on inflation, and I was like needling you that you thought 3% was okay. You said 2.5 to 3, and you said the only reason there are 2 is because of what country decided on 2?
New Zealand in the 1990s.
You said that's just the New Zealand rate. So now the tariffs, going to be a 90-day pause. So the prospect of the tariff, the inflation caused by tariffs is taken off the table. Why immediately say that the growth side looks better instead of saying, oh, there probably won't be inflation? Why doesn't it free the Fed to lower rates since they don't have to worry about inflation and lower mortgage rates, get the economy in case there is, some hangover from this and unemployment? Why not preempt it? Why not do it since inflation is not a problem?
So the inflation impact is ambiguous. So beforehand, we had a total embargo on trade,
With China.
With China. And the result of that is that a lot of activity wasn't going to take place. Now you're going to have some activity taking place, good for growth, but it will be taking place at a higher price, bad for inflation. This is why there's so many different forces in play. I think the major question you have to ask yourself is, if you were a CEO, Joe, what would you do? If you had to have a major decisions, what would you do right now?
Well, I'd bring everyone back 5 days a week. That's the first thing I do.
I would do that too. What else would we do beyond that?
I would definitely, not have any relationships with anyone that worked at the company. I think that would be my second. Isn't that important? And you mean actual strategic moves?
So what you're hearing now, for example, is in the past we realized that our supply chain should be C plus 1, China plus somewhere else. Now we think it should be C plus 2 or 3. Now, if you go down that path, then that means rewiring supply chains.
Right.
I mean, how much of it comes back to the United States? Does it foster investment in the United States, or is that just to try and keep the Trump administration happy?
No,
and if it does, so what?
I think if you get clarity from the administration that our real goal is revenues and reshoring, which means that tariffs will stay high permanently, it comes back. If, however, you hear them talk about a fairer trading system, and we have escalated to de-escalate, then you don't bring it back.
Let's say we have a 10% tariff across the board, and that's sort of almost like our version of a VAT. I know they're not the same, but what would that ultimately do in terms of bringing in revenue? Would you be happy with that? Would you think that would actually create a real damper on economic movement?
So it will not bring in massive revenues. Companies recalibrate, but will not reshore. 10% is not enough for companies to reshore.
They're just going to move to other countries, potentially.
Certainly, people are going to have much more diversified supply chains.
And we can decide that's a good thing. Inflationary in the short term, likely.
Correct. Inflation in the short term, deflation in the long term. That's absolutely the case on that, yes. So this is why you will get really frustrated as more and more economists opine, because there's so many possibilities right now. When I was here last time, I told you we are on a very bumpy journey to two destinations. One is fragmentation, and the other one is the U.S. is stronger in a fairer trading system. We are now slightly higher on the second probability, but it's a 50-50 situation.
You missed $58 oil, $57 oil. That's another reason why inflation might not.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. And also,
You think
rates are back up.
Does it stay here at 63, or is it possible it was supply and goes back down, or this is a knee jerk?
So it will depend on President Trump's visit to 3 OPEC countries.
Yeah, that's coming up.
And see what happens there.
Very, very interesting. We got a couple more things. Zebec holders, check this out, guys. Check this out. Boom. The retail holder rich list. Are you a seahorse, clownfish, sea turtle, stingray, great white shark, orca, or leviathan? So seahorses have to carry 10,000 Zebec or less. Clownfish is 50,000 to 99,999. A sea turtle is 50,000 to 99,000. What? That's the same number. It doesn't make any sense. 50,000. Yeah, 50,000. That's the same number. That doesn't make sense. So we'll skip it. Stingray is 100,000 to 4.5 million. Great white shark is 200,000 to 40. Wow, these numbers are messed up. Why would you go from 100,000 to 49,000? It doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Personally, I am a Leviathan myself, guys. Over 10 million tokens. How many of you out there, let me know in the chat, how many of you are Leviathans? You don't have to tell me. I don't want to know exactly how many coins you have, but how many of you are Leviathans? Over 10 million coins. Let me know, guys. Let me know. Right. What do we have? Oh, we got this last piece to get into over here. All right. So, U.S. trade deal progress in the right direction. Let's have a look at it, guys. I know you guys have been waiting for this.
Breakthrough between the U.S. and China. Negotiators agreeing to temporarily suspend most of the tariffs on each other's goods. Join us now, Mick Mulvaney, co-chair of ACTM, a former OMB director and former White House chief of staff under President Trump, and Heidi Heitkamp, a former North Dakota senator and director of the University of Chicago's Institute of Politics. We don't know the entire sequence of what this means, I don't think, Heidi, and what happens over the next 90 days. But what was your reaction when you heard the news over the weekend?
I think it's really good news. It's good news for the economy. And I think President Trump put an adult in the room and he was able to go there. But let's not kid ourselves. This is detente. And I listened to your earlier interview, Joe, with the secretary who talked about non-tariff barriers. And those will be very, very difficult to negotiate. And so I think this is a good first step. I think that it is an unforced error. We didn't need to take this step. I think if he had such a good relationship, he could have done this without threatening the livelihood of a lot of American small businesses. But this is really good news, and we should take it that way.
But they're tough. And you look at IP theft and fentanyl and all those things. I know it's nice to smile and say, gosh, be nice to us, President Xi, but they're ruthless, Heidi. I mean, you don't have to, it doesn't take a genius to see that sometimes you got to play hardball.
Well, Joe, I think that this didn't need to happen, and Liberation Day is I think in the rearview mirror. One thing I would say is 90 days. Everything's in 90 days. How is he going to negotiate all these deals? And this is very complicated work. You know it, and I know it, and so we'll see what happens. But I think we should all take a sigh of relief that. This is, we have detente. We'll see what the deal looks like when it's done.
Mick, did it need to be done? I mean, nobody else has done it to this point. Was China a serious problem for us?
Oh, absolutely, they're a serious problem. And I do think it needed to be done. I think Trump needed to send the message that he was deadly serious. But if you're looking for good news, I think the good news is now we've sort of put to rest the ultimate question. When Liberation Day got announced, in fact, I think we talked about this on the show, Were tariffs there for the purposes of staying there forever and for the purposes of rebuilding the manufacturing base in the U.S.? Are we going to be making textiles and shoes in this country again? Or were tariffs there for the purpose of leverage for negotiating deals? And I think now we pretty much know what the answer to that question is. You see it with the UK, you're seeing it today with China. This is leverage. Donald Trump is one of the best I've ever seen at making leverage out of nothing. I do think it's necessary. I think Heidi's absolutely right, though. We are nowhere near having a deal. I think when we cut a deal with the Chinese back in 2018, it took us 18 months. The UK deal, I think, is still just a term sheet, so we're several months away there. So I count this, as Heidi mentioned, progress in the right direction, but certainly far from final success.
Mick, if you were still budget director, how would you be answering questions about this big, beautiful bill? And if we extend 2017 and add all those other tax breaks, what would you say about the budgetary implications? Would you say we'll do right to things with Medicaid and SNAP and things like that? How would you say it's all going to be growth from deregulation? How would you sell it to make it more palatable to deficit hawks?
You know, if I'm the OMB director, the answer might be different than if I'm still a member of Congress. The OMB director works for the president, so I'd be out there saying exactly what the administration is saying, which is that we need this for growth. If we don't do anything, it's the largest tax increase in history. What does that do to the economy, Joe? I know you know the answer to that question. It's mostly rhetorical on this network, but it's a huge tax increase. We know what that does to the economy. That would be my push as the OMB director. As a former member of Congress and one of the last remaining fiscal conservatives, I guess, in Washington, D.C., I'd be having a heart attack over what it does to the deficit. I want to know where the real cost savings are. And are they real or are they sort of imaginary? But there's all sorts of different ways to say you're cutting spending in Washington when you're not really. So we've got the preliminary data out, or at least the preliminary proposal over the weekend. We're a long way yet from seeing what the real impact is. And my fear is at the end of the day, it will be easier for folks in Washington to raise taxes than it will be to cut spending.
Heidi, we had a different guest that I was prepared for earlier, but and then we got you to come along. But I'm going to see if you have the, a lot of times.
I'm your second choice, Joe.
No, you're always our first choice. But I'm just going to see whether you have the same talking points. He was going to say that this is another example of Donald Trump cutting taxes for his billionaire friends and for the rich corporations, and that nobody else benefits. Is that in your notes?
No, that wouldn't be in my notes. I think it's Steve Scalise who put the damper on Trump's idea that we should tax millionaires at a higher rate. I thought it was interesting. I think when you look at Donald Trump, what he's been talking about is no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. What about Social Security? He's backed off that because that has dire effects on the Social Security Trust Fund. And now he's talking about taxing millionaires. The one thing about Donald Trump is he can read the room. And his room is working class folks. And when this comes out and they cut Medicaid and they cut SNAP benefits and there is no benefit to, the message is that millionaires still get their tax deal. And I watched as Andrew had a very sharp and pointed discussion with Scalise about carried interest. And
Trump
so
wants to do that.
I would not say,
that's not Trump, Heidi. Trump wanted to do the carried interest.
I get it. But my point is that Donald Trump knows that when this package comes out, if it comes out the way the House is moving, that this is not a this is a package that will get talked a lot about by Democrats because it's a package that is going to richly benefit rich people. And I think Donald Trump understands that. So I would say it's not Trump, I'd say it's the House.
There's been op-eds written, and by the Wall Street Journal, I admit, saying that Trump and the Republicans will be hesitant to do anything with Medicaid because you'll hear from Democrats that they'll demagogue it and say you're cutting Medicaid and pushing grandma off the cliff again. Mick, isn't there a way to do things with Medicaid where it doesn't benefit working age, perfectly healthy men that I think Scalise said 35-year-olds living in their parents' basement playing video games and not pregnant women and disabled people? It's a mess right now. Can't you do it in a surgical way that actually improves Medicaid and saves money?
Not only can you do it, Joe, we did it back in 2017 in that budget. People forget Donald Trump's budget in 2017, which I helped write, was the largest reduction in mandatory spending in history. and it did not touch 65 and over Medicare, did not touch most of Medicaid, did not touch old age retirement within Social Security. It cut all the other programs that have been funded out of those giant pools of money for the last 30, 40, 50 years. Face it, when there's a giant pool of money in Washington, and Heidi knows this as well as anybody, people go there to get that money. And that's what's happened to Medicare and Medicaid, which is why they're so out of control. You can do a lot of work here and get a lot of real savings in entitlement mandatory programs without touching the things that people associate with Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. And Trump did it in 2017.
They say we got to go, Heidi. You want to yell at Mick or something?
I mean, I totally agree, but I also think that if you did it, you did it once. And let me tell you, I think that the Democrats would be wise to agree to some form of work requirements. But by the same token, waste, fraud, and abuse, let's see it. The AGs were already supposed to be investigating it. So we'll live to fight this another day, I think, on the Medicaid issue.
All right, and finally, guys, I wanted to show you guys the liquidation levels. See what's going on here. Let's refresh it one more time. So, all right, so look at this, guys. So we saw a lot of longs got liquidated as Bitcoin has dropped. It dropped all the way down to $100,000 and then wicked all the way back up to, it's back up to almost $102,000, which liquidated a bunch of longs. But now we flip things and we come over. If Bitcoin even comes back up to, if Bitcoin hits 106,400, almost $1 billion in shorts gets liquidated. So in saying that, guys, if we jump up to 107,500, $1.11 billion in shorts gets liquidated. So we've seen a long squeeze take place just now today, okay? Are we about to see a short squeeze happen now and liquidate all of these short positions? This is what market manipulation looks like, guys, right? These, I always tell you guys, when we look at the longs and shorts, leverage trading, I usually don't get too concerned about it taking place until we get up around $1 billion or so of leverage on either the longs or the shorts. And that's when you start to run that risk of these liquidity hunters, right? They start going after the liquidity in the market. And you've got $1.11 billion in longs at 107. So do not be surprised to see either tonight, maybe tomorrow, over the next 24 hours, to see a short squeeze take place and all of these people get liquidated. If you're thinking about putting in a short right now, not financial advice, but maybe not the best idea in the world, right? So, but guys, I got some one-on-one coaching calls I got to do over on the Patreon. So if you want to get yours booked in, guys, get over there. The link is in the chat. It's in the pinned comments. It's in the description. Also, we dropped 3 microcap gems over on the Patreon this week. We're dropping 2 more last week. Sorry, we're dropping 2 more this week. Get over there, guys. Get in early on these projects while the market is down. You do not want to miss the opportunity. We're excited about them. We're not talking meme coins here that are going to rug pull on you either. We're talking utility projects, decentralized finance, artificial AI agents, and much, much more, guys. So get over there, get in early on these. Listen, we got in early on Onyx Coin, we got in early on Zebec, on Swift Coin, on XPR, on Moonwell, on so many different projects, guys. Myria, like these projects, they're exploding, man. They're exploding. We get in early on them, we make money, and then when everyone else finally starts to notice them, they're just our exit liquidity. So come aboard, get in early on these projects, guys. And also you can book one-on-one coaching calls with me. We're live every single day over there as well. So I will see you guys later. I'm going to jump over, start doing the one-on-one coaching calls. I will see you guys late. I will not be live tonight. My son has a soccer game. You guys know Mondays and Wednesdays. So I will be at his soccer game. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. God bless.